Hi everyone, it's Nicole and I'm here to work on the books I read in 2021, and now for this video we're going to work on everything I read in the month of April, May, and June. And the first 6 months I did in one sitting. Then the next day I think I did the month of July, and that's kind of where I stopped. So I'm hoping to get back to it very soon and finish the rest of the months. But I did the first 7 months out of the year in a couple of days. So I have high hopes that I'm going to finish this very, very soon. So while I am cutting up everything, I'll just let you know sort of my process. So every time I read a book or start a book, I go on Goodreads and I add it to my Goodreads list. And that's a nice way to keep track of all the books that I have, but it's also a place where I can go after and kind of take a picture of the book cover, and then I printed all 100 books that I read in 2021 in one sitting. I have a software on my computer that goes with my printer, and I could put 4 pictures on one 4x6. So that's what I did, and I ended up printing them all at one time, and that worked out really well. In the past years, I kind of did this project almost monthly, and I would have to print them every month. So it was kind of nice to kind of take the approach of almost like the December daily and kind of just do it all at once. That was kind of nice, and I might do that again for 2022, but we'll see. I've had a few people ask me if I was going to start sharing again some of the book hauls that I have, and to tell you the truth, I am not purchasing a lot of physical books lately. Like, it might be maybe 1, maybe 2 a month. It's not like it used to be. What I am looking all the time, I am part of a couple of publications, I guess, and they offer like cheap ebooks. So I check those, almost every day. And maybe once a week, there's a book that I wanted to read and it's on special, or I go to my Kindle books on Amazon and I check there too and see if there's any books that are on sale. So I'm getting a lot of ebooks more than I am physical books, because I find that I have enough books, physical books. So, and I'm enjoying reading on my phone or on my iPad or on my Kindle. It seems more than holding a book. I find that with my wrist gets really tired really quickly. But let's talk about the books that I read in those 3 months. The first book I read was The Enchanted Crown, which is part of the Stolen Kingdom. It's book number 4 by Bethany Atazadeh. And this is a young adult fantasy, and it follows, it's kind of retellings, loose retellings. And this one follows Arya and it follows Rena. And I love this series. I gave this 5 stars. Bethany Atazadeh, she is on YouTube here, and she is a sweet woman. I love watching her videos too. And she also writes, so I love, reading her books. The next book I read was Can't Fix Crazy by K.A. Dugan. And this, one of my friends during the virtual crop, Laura, told me about this. She knows the person who wrote this book, and she said, you got to read this. It's really good. So I decided to go ahead and read it, and it was really good. I gave it 5 stars. It's really hard to explain, so I'll just read to you a little bit of the summary. It says, those people. You do. We all know someone like it. Those people that aren't happy unless there's drama in their lives, unless everyone's attention and focus is completely and undividedly on them. The ones you roll your eyes at because they're so obvious, so annoyingly transparent, and clearly lacking some desperately needed honesty in their lives. Yep, those people. But what happens when the unreality becomes startlingly real? What happens when you realize that you're one of them? Compulsive liar, check drowning in delusion, double check, I say I'm dying, they say I'm lying. So it's really a good book. And I have Kindle Unlimited, and it was on Kindle Unlimited, so I read it and I loved it, gave it 5 stars. The next book I read was Git-R-Done. It's part of the Never Night Chronicle. It's the last book in the series by Jay Kristoff. Again, it follows an assassin, Mia, and it's a 3-book long. And I love Jay Kristoff's writing, so love that book. First 3 books I read in April, all 5 stars. Now, the next book I read, Jane Eyre by Charlotte Bronte. Of course, this is a classic, and I didn't really enjoy it. I did not like Mr. Rochester, not even a little bit. I was interested, I think maybe the first 100 pages, like when she was in the school where they sent her off. I wasn't interested then, but as soon as she met him, my interest in the book was gone. So I gave it 3 stars, and I feel like that was generous. It's probably like a 2.5 star for me. I didn't like it. I do want to watch the movie though and see if I like that better. The next book I read was A Reaper at the Gates, and it's part of the An Ember in the Ashes series by Sabaa Tahir, which, like I said, this is my favorite series that I read in 2021. And this is a 4-book series, so I don't want to say too much because, spoilers, but it follows Elias, who's a soldier, and Laya, who's a prisoner, and their love story. It's so good. Love it. And there's a lot going on. Like, there's a lot of action. The next book I read was Second First Impressions by Sally Thorne. I gave that 4 stars. It is a adult romance, and it actually follows our main character who works at a villa, and it's someone that goes to the son of the person that owns the villa comes to work there, and there's 2 women that are part of the villa. They are so hilarious. I did laugh quite a bit throughout this book. I really kind of enjoyed it. It was really cute and sweet. The next book I read was probably one of my favorite books of the year, like I was going to say a singleton standalone, and it was The House in the Cerulean Sea by T.J. Klune. 5 stars. Loved it. It won't be my last book of T.J. Klune that I read, and this follows like a social worker, and he goes to this house where there's kids that are like troubled kids, but there's something special about those kids, and it's like finding out everything about those kids, and then there's a romance, and it's so cute. I just absolutely loved it. The next book I read was A Song Below Water by Bethany C. Morrow. I enjoyed that one. I gave it 3 stars, and see, that's where I'm like, I think Jane Eyre I gave too high because I like this book more than I liked Jane Eyre, and they have the same rating. That's why I wish they had half stars. But this has to do with sirens and their magical powers. It was good. I liked it. It was 3 stars. It wasn't, maybe this one is more like a 3.5 stars. Then the next book I read was People We Meet on Vacation by Emily Henry. And I love this book, and it has to do with 2 best friends and 10 summer trips, and something happened and they don't talk anymore. So you keep going back and forth, what happened in the past and what's going on right now in the future, or the present, I should say. And it's just really good. I enjoyed it. 5 stars. Loved it. The next book I read was the last book in the An Ember in the Ashes series by Sabaa Tahir. I even put in You know, I don't put many reviews on Goodreads, but this one I put, okay, I had to wait a few days before writing this review. This book ripped my heart out. Loved it though. Loved it, loved it. 5 stars. The next book is The Soulmate Equation by Christina Lauren. And that was good. I gave it 4 stars, and it had to do with like somebody, like this company that matches you up based on your DNA, and she gets matched up with like the person that came up with the concept of that, and I liked it. It was a 4-star read. The next one was another adult romance, and it was Girl Gone Viral by Alicia Ray, and this is the second novel in the Modern Love series, and this follows another set of characters that we, one set of character that we met in the first book, and this is their book. And any time like that there is a second or a third book, even in romance, I kind of like those because it really you kind of get involved in the characters. Now, the next book I read was Today, Tomorrow, and Always by Tessa Bailey, and this is book number 3, and I really liked it. I mean, it came out and I had it, I was reading it the next day, and I probably finished it the day after that. And this follows Tucker, and again, it's a series, so you get invested in the characters, and it's a paranormal. It has to do with vampires, and 4 stars. I really quite enjoy it. Now, next I read Randomized by Andy Weir, and this is part of like a little series of novella, and I heard it on another channel about this, and it's all like sci-fi novellas, and I wanted to read them, and I quite enjoyed it. It was a 3 stars. I mean, it's only like maybe an 80-page book, so you don't have very much time with getting involved with all the characters, but I enjoyed it. 3 stars. Then the next one is Well Played. It's part of the Well Met series by Jen DeLuca, and that has to do with Renaissance Fair, and again, involved with the characters. Loved it. The next book and the last book is Emergency Skin, again, a sci-fi. It's by N.K. Jemisin, and this one was kind of different, and it was if you kind of, I don't know, they're kind of aliens, and they take on another, like a different skin. Anyway, it was really weird, but I enjoyed it. I gave it 3 stars. But that's it. That's all the books that I read in the month of April, May, and June. And I want to thank you so much for watching. Bye.